Hello friends, it's me, and today, Kaisenek, King of Twitch, but King of Elden Ring? Let's check out Game Theory. Kaisenek won't survive another marathon stream, Elden Ring, from the Game Theorist. Together, let's go. Let's start. 69 death. I did.
Oh my god! Hard as fuck!
At some point, you gotta just sit back and think, like, is it me?
I think it's me!
It might be you.
I hate to break it to you, Kai, but your friend is right. Though it's not for the reasons you might think.
Game Theory.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, the show that knows that gaming is a marathon, not a sprint. And that is
Sonic! Hello Internet, welcome to Game Theory.
more true than ever because marathon streams are one of the biggest metas in streaming right now. You know the ones I'm talking about. The I'm not ending stream until I do X, like Tim the Tapman's not ending stream until I D-rank in Rainbow Six, or TBNR Frag streaming until I hit Unreal rank in Fortnite. Whether it's the sheer novelty of these continuous streams or the desire to be there and spam I was here in chat when it all ends, something about these kinds of streams captures our attention. And the newest game to be the subject of these marathon streams is of course the long anticipated DLC for Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. And it is hard. So hard in fact that From Software have actually come out with a patch to make it a tiny bit easier. And this is from the company that is known for making hard games. I guess you could call this DLC the Dark Souls of Souls-like games. It's like the Ouroboros eating its own tail. And so when streamer Kaisenek announced that he was going to be doing a marathon of the new DLC, people were hyped. And the marathon ended up being quite a ride. He laughed, he cried, he raged. In fact, things got so rough for Kai that he had to bring in an actual licensed therapist to help
Counselor actually. Counselor. What? Therapist, counselor. You get the point.
calm him down, which got me thinking, was there something he could have done differently? Sure, watching Kai bash his head against a wall was no doubt entertaining,
And what he did was certainly a massive achievement, but I can't help but feel like there were some efficiencies he let go to waste. The only other person who attempted to marathon this DLC, at least at the time of writing, was Ludwig.
but he did it in 40 hours less. What was he doing differently that allowed him to lessen his time in the self-imposed prison? You might think it's all to do with in-game strategy or their builds or their previous experience, but that's not very theorist. Instead, I'm talking about something much less subjective: science. Gaming is more than just getting good after all. Your environment, your sleep, your diet, they can all affect things like your mood, concentration, and reaction times. All
Yeah, science!
things that are essential for a game like this. So was there science Kai could have used in order to save himself hours of heartache? Well, just like any good Elden Ring player, I too am willing to sink tens of hours into mindlessly grinding away at a task. So grab your enchanted greatswords and data charts, because I've got the strats to help Kai, other streamers, and even you fully optimize whatever gaming marathon lies ahead. So first things first, exactly what data am I collecting and how am I doing it? Well, I ended up watching all the nearly 100 hours Kai streamed and made notes of anything he was doing outside of the game. Things like when
Yep. Kaisenek have been streaming for days. Days.
he ate, when he took breaks, what his mental state was, all in order to see whether there was any science that could have been applied to lead to a faster time. I also watched all of Ludwig's 57 hours of stream to see if he somehow
Also, days.
subconsciously did follow the science and whether that could have been the reason for his faster time. However, it became very clear that this was going to be a really tough comparison. Elden Ring is an open world game. There is a ton of optional places to explore. So despite putting in the hours, I needed to limit the scope slightly in order to get a fair comparison. So I decided to focus on a very specific part of the run, the DLC's final boss, Radahn. Radahn is the primary reason this DLC is so tough. Most people who play the DLC spend half of their time on this guy alone. And
No. More than half. More than half of the time.
Kai and Ludwig were no exception. Plus, both Kai and Ludwig reached Redan at around the same point in their run, roughly 31 hours in, so it meant they were going in on a basically even playing field. So with that out of the way, let's dive into the data. When I initially saw these streams announced, the thing I was worried most about was the amount of sleep they'd actually be getting. I personally love my sleep, but when you've dedicated yourself to streaming until you beat a particular game, I could imagine streamers foregoing adequate sleep time in order to make further progress. Now,
okay, so if I'm not wrong, 7 hours of uninterrupted rests. I learned that from my military days, so yeah, 7 hours of uninterrupted rests.
I don't think I need to tell you all that sleep is very important for your brain. Virtually all research shows that your brain will stop working at its full potential if you go without sleep. Sleep deprivation, even just a tiny amount, can lead to slower reaction times, smaller attention spans, reduced ability to adapt, and impaired judgment. All things that are critical for accomplishing difficult tasks. Oh, that's why my GT Live performance was so poor. I was just jet lagged. It had nothing to do with my lack of art skills. So,
Definitely, we trust you. We trust you.
how much sleep were these guys getting? Ludwig only slept once in his 26-hour run against Redan, and it was for roughly 7 hours. Hard to say for sure because his stream cut out, but providing he did go to bed when he said he did, and didn't spend too much time dilly-dallying before getting back on stream, he would have been in good shape. Doctors recommend 7 to 9 hours of sleep in order to avoid the effects of sleep deprivation. So Ludwig...
What? I thought it's like 6 to 8. I thought 6 to 8. Is it 7 to 9? I thought 6 to 8. Comment down below. For a full-grown adult human, the average amount of sleep. Comment down below. What is the appropriate amount for you? I remember it was 6 up to 8 hours. He's saying 7 to 9. Okay. For a full-grown adult. Okay. Kai Sinek is a full-grown adult. Lao is a full-grown adult. I'm a full-grown adult. So yeah, adult human. Yes.
is just skirting on that line. Kai, however, didn't follow that advice. He definitely laid in bed for 8 hours each time he slept, which he did 3 times across the Redan section of his stream. But if you actually watched Kai sleep, which is creepier now that I'm saying it out loud, but it's for science, I promise. My job is so weird. But if you did, and you subtract the time that he spent shifting around to get comfortable or playing on his phone, then you'd realize he only slept for just shy of 6.5 hours on the first night and only 5.5 hours on the next 2. He is getting...
Okay, that is very bad. And also not to forget lah, his light is beaming to you while you're closing your eyes. Just imagine closing your eyes and the light is beaming to your face. I recommend having something to obstruct the light from getting to your eyes. A cloth, a mask, something, you know.
Way less sleep than is required to fight off sleep deprivation, which is likely what led to some of his worst reaction times. Sleep is also when your brain converts short-term memories you've acquired throughout the day and turns them into long-term memories. Without that rest, all that muscle memory you've been picking up by playing the game over and over and over again, it's just not going to make its way into long-term memory, and so by the time you wake up, your muscles aren't going to remember how to do it properly. So if you want to optimize your streaming marathon with better reaction times, attention spans, and building muscle memory, rule number 1 is get the full 7 to 9 hours of sleep. However, it's not like Kai was just grinding during every waking moment. He did slow down and take some regular breaks. In fact, from the moment he started his attempts against Redan, I counted that Kai took about 43 breaks over his 44 waking hours, roughly.
Bro, you actually watch the entire stream and pause and take notes. Bro, Tom, I respect you for that, man. That's hard work.
1 break per hour. These breaks then averaged out at about 18 minutes in length and ranged from checking his phone to eating to watching other streamers. According to research, Kai absolutely nailed the frequency and length of breaks to maximize productivity. One study found that the most productive workers would, on average, work continuously for around 52 minutes before taking a 17-minute break, which is shockingly close to what Kai averaged. This is important because other research has shown that those who take breaks ultimately end
end up being more focused, less stressed, and make better decisions. In contrast, Ludwig only took 15 breaks over his 27 waking hours, with the average length being just 7 minutes per break, which is way below what is recommended to be productive. So why did it take Kai so much longer? Because it's not all about the length or frequency of breaks, it's about the quality.
I knew it! I knew it! You tell that to the old generations, the old people, the seniors, they don't listen. You say, you got it? No, but I received it in a lower quality. Gosh! It's not about... Sometimes it's not about the quantity, it's about quality. And the older generations just don't listen.
Not all breaks are made equal. What you do during those breaks can often make just as much of a difference, if not more, than how often you take them. For example, getting up and moving is significantly better for your brain's function. And this isn't just true for those who spend their days in cubicles. We also have data on the effects of breaks on gamers specifically. New York Tech Center for Esports Medicine, a center I cannot believe exists. What a world we live in. They looked at the effect that a walking break can have on a gamer's performance. They took 21 gamers and had them play a video game continuously for about 2 hours. At the 1 hour mark, the gamers were asked to either take no break, lay down for 6 minutes, or walk around for 6 minutes. Those who took the walking break showed both significantly better reaction and planning times than even those who had the rest break. One of the participants summed up the benefits perfectly. Quote, "The walking break definitely has the best impact on gaming performance. It helps you to clear your mind while doing something physical. Even if you're walking slowly, it helps you calm down and forget the high pressure from the gaming environment. Your brain isn't going overboard anymore." And Ludwig actually did do this. Not every time, but he did get up and walk around occasionally, which likely added to his success. If Kai had done the same, then he might have just been able to walk free from his streams faster than he would have expected. Instead, he did something that research has shown to be the worst kind of break: browsing social media. During several of his breaks, Kai would whip out his phone to check Twitter or TikTok. He even slipped in a couple of phone looks between his attempts against Radan. Taking breaks to look at your phone only serves to mess with your brain and make you less productive. A study in the Journal of Behavioral Addictions found that participants who took a break to check their phone took 19% longer to complete their assigned tasks and finished 22% less work than those who didn't check their phone. On top of that, those who checked their phones did significantly worse than even those who took a break on their computer, which was the approach Ludwig took, watching other streamers on his computer. All in all, when it comes to breaks, even though Kai took breaks more frequently and for longer, that advantage was completely washed away by how he spent his break time. Therefore,
I really respect these researchers. Who would have thought that such a small device can affect the ultimate outcome so differently, so drastically, so significantly? Wow. Respect to those researchers, man. Great job. Thank you for educating us. Thank you so much.
if you are completing some sort of long-term task, make sure you are taking breaks every hour and also use this time to get up, move those legs, and please leave the box of distractions as far away from you as possible. Stepping away from breaks, while it is important to fuel your brain with decent rest, it's also important to fuel it with literal fuel. 73% of your brain is made up of water. So staying fully hydrated is super important to keeping your wits about you. And
So let's recap. Your device out, okay? Not in the same facility, not within walking distance, not within arm stretch of you. Your phone's out when you're super focused on it. For example, if you want a 6 to 8 hours of sleep, absolute 6 to 8 hours of sleep, or even 7 to 9 hours of sleep, your phone's out. Do not bring it into the same vicinity, the same venue as you. Maybe even outside the room. It helps. It helps a lot. Because, when you're laying on the bed, it's like, oh, I'll just check my phone. My phone is outside. Then walk out? Never mind. Walk out? Never mind. Never mind, just relax. And ta-da! Sleep.
I know it sounds cliche. Everyone and their grandmother tells you to drink more water, but there's actually a very good reason for that. Drinking more water has been shown to improve your cognitive function, reaction times, and your mood, something that Kai clearly needed improved.
Why you healing? Why you healing? Why you healing?
Meanwhile, not drinking water has been shown to inhibit your memory, your alertness, and your focus. And these effects aren't just limited to severe dehydration either. Being just 2% dehydrated can impair your performance in a whole range of mental tasks. Now, to be clear, both streamers could have used a little bit more fluid in their diet. However, Ludwig was the only one drinking outside of meals. Specifically, he was drinking from this glass bottle with a yellow label. Doing a bit of online digging, I found that this was a bottle of Topo Chico mineral water, so kudos there, you did do something right, Ludwig. Meanwhile, the only drink I saw Kai reaching for was Bang Energy Drink, which, yes, has water in it, but it also contains other ingredients like caffeine,
which is great for improving your reaction time and cognitive performance in the short term, but it can also make you jittery.
So while playing a game that requires absolute precision and perfect timing like Elden Ring, that may not be the greatest side effect to put up with. And that's
Oh, so even though caffeine seems good, but it makes your hand jittery. Oh my gosh, especially in a game where you need like precise, precise movements.
not the only downside. Caffeine is also what is known as a diuretic. Basically, it means you pee more. Therefore, you are eliminating the water from your body much quicker, losing all of the benefit the water in that drink provides. So while in the short term, a caffeinated beverage might help push you through the last couple of hours of a shift, in the end, it will make you jittery and will ultimately lead you to losing water faster. Instead, you can get nearly all the cognitive benefits with none of the downsides just by drinking classic H2O when you're thirsty. Now, I spent a lot of time going into the nitty-gritty of the different approaches Kai and Ludwig have taken throughout their streams, but if you watched any of the streams for yourselves, you'll probably know there was one difference that was a little easier to spot.
A break? I don't need one.
No! I'm not doing this one, bro. I'm done. Leave me the alone! Leave me alone!
Oh, the way they handle the rage, the way they handle the anger. One is like, I'm good. Meanwhile, ba 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 ba. It's like, okay.
Yeah, Kai got a little heated, shall we say. Now, anger and frustration are obviously normal emotions, especially when you're dying to the same boss again and again and again. But
Hundreds of times. It sucks.
while you may be losing the game, losing your cool doesn't do your brain any favors. Anger, especially stress-related anger, activates the emotional parts of your brain like the amygdala and triggers that fight or flight response, which in turn limits our ability to think. And in the case of Kai, if the source of your anger is the thing that you must overcome in order to free yourself, that ends up creating a pretty vicious cycle. He plays, gets angry, it limits his brain's ability to think clearly, which leads to him playing worse, meaning he loses again, and the next thing you know, you're talking to a therapist with a PlayStation controller in your hand.
Which actually happens. Actually, a counselor, therapist, same.
But you might be thinking, Kai is letting out his anger. Isn't that better than keeping it bottled up? Well, as it turns out, the more you vent your anger, the angrier you actually become. Brad Bushman, a senior researcher and professor from Ohio State University, said that venting anger might sound like a good idea, but there's not a shred of scientific evidence to support catharsis theory, i.e. the idea of getting it off your chest. He goes on to say it's really a battle because angry people want to vent, but our research shows that any good feeling we get from venting actually reinforces aggression. Basically,
It reinforces the aggressions, like get it off your chest, like but it reinforces aggressions. The very action of letting it out of your chest reinforces aggression. Interesting. Well, not necessarily aggressions in the form of like or shout of violence. Maybe aggression in the form of manipulations, puppetry, that's backstabbing. That's the sort of individuals in which you try to avoid.
by letting out your aggression, you get that sense of catharsis and positive release in the moment, but that teaches your brain to get angry again in order to receive that same positive feeling. On the flip,
And time after time after time, after Kai Cenat die hundreds of times, it gets to you. Humans are habitual creatures. We develop habits, and if it kind of helps, well, we're going to do it more. Oh gosh, it's bad. It's very bad.
Flip side, bottling up your anger and never addressing it can be just as bad. Holding on to anger leads to a buildup of the stress hormone cortisol. This stress hormone can lead to problems with attention, decreased mental processing, or muddled thinking. Once again, all the things we're trying to avoid. So that leaves the question, what is the healthy way to overcome inevitable anger? The answer is doing exactly what Ludwig did, calming down. Sophie Scharbeck, a postdoctoral
Calm down sounds easy, but it's not easy. People say calm down, calm down, calm down. It's like you are doing it wrong. Instead of saying the word calm down, you should be saying the words breathe, inhale, respirate. Take a moment, close your eyes. These are actions. These are proper actions in which people can actually do. Instead of saying the words calm down, calm down, calm down, chill down, chill down, chill down, control yourself, control yourself, control yourself. This is like, what do you mean control yourself? Control myself to be even more angrier? Control myself to be even more frustrated? Tell me what to do in a more beneficial way. The way that you're telling me what to do is not beneficial at all. It's not. It's, you could say, instead of saying the word calm down, calm down, calm down, control, 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 chill, 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 relax, 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 relax. You should be saying the words inhale, close your eyes, pause, don't move, listen, or like blink or something. Inhale, respirate, breathe. These are proper actions in which we can do, simple actions that we can do. So yeah.
Fellow at the Virginia Commonwealth University noticed the rise of things like rage rooms, places where people are encouraged to vent their frustrations for a nominal fee. So she decided to do a meta-analysis of over 150 studies on over 10,000 participants to find the best ways to cope with anger. A theorist after my own heart. Look at all those numbers! But what she found is that the best thing you can do is to carry out activities that lower your arousal levels, not give in to them. Activities like running, using a punching bag, and cycling were much less effective at controlling anger than activities meant to decrease arousal, like deep breathing and meditation. So the fact—
sit down in lotus positions. Like, it's a very cool instruction. Sit down in lotus position. Inhale, breathe, collect the air into your mouth. It's like, these are all proper instructions. Instead of saying the word chill, relax. It's not helpful if you say the word control, chill, balance yourself, relax. It's kind of difficult, in which if you say the words sit down in lotus position, aka meditate, yeah.
the Kai is so quick to let out his frustration is wiring his brain to remain on high alert, and he's never getting a chance to truly rest. That in turn leads to decreased cognitive function, prolonging his run, which makes him angrier. This is why Kai's therapist repeatedly tried to get him to calm down and breathe, to little success.
I hate this game!
But when Ludwig—
And also, what she did is also good, in which she portrayed an individual that is literally next to her, next to him, someone that is in close vicinity, that is in calm, controlled manner, so that Kai Cenat can actually look at her and learn from her example. She's being a good role model, so respect to her, good job.
felt like he was getting heated, he took a 5-minute break where he walked away from the computer, getting his brain out of high alert and allowing him to recenter and focus. So if you end up being faced with a challenge, be it Elden Ring or work or just something that gets your blood boiling, instead of letting it all out, use techniques that can help calm you down, like deep breathing, walking, or listening to lo-fi like the one you're hearing right now. This is actually from our new project, Lo-Fi. I've been listening to it while I've been writing this episode, and despite watching all of the rage in front of me, I cannot tell you how much calmer I feel. You can listen to it right now for free over on Spotify. There will be a link in the description. Take a listen, and I'm sure that next time you're faced with a challenge, you will be calmer and ready to take on anything. Maybe I should—
Also, don't forget, there's lore.
send this playlist to Kai for his next stream, because throughout this one, Kai made several choices in the way he treated his brain that almost guaranteed that he'd never be able to beat this DLC. You can even see it when you plot Kai's attempts on a graph. That's right, I went back and watched the stream again and counted the amount of times he died, pausing each time he did die to measure what percentage of Radan's HP he got through. And if you take—
Bro, Tom, much respect to you, but do you have to go that out? You watch the entire live stream, literally days of live stream, and you watch it again?
Take a look, you'll see he didn't improve much at all over the course of his run at Radahn. In fact, if you
Tom, I respect your professionality. Good job.
look at just the first full day of attempts at the big guy, Kai somehow got worse as the day went on. But spoiler alert, despite all his disadvantages, he does eventually conquer his demons and slay Radahn. The question is, what changed? Well, if you pay
After 1070 death. Oh, that's gonna hurt. It's 4 digits of death.
close attention to the graph, you'll notice that around attempt 360, something shifts. Suddenly, there is a pretty big spike in Kai's performance, a spike that he was able to sustain and then build upon, leading to him eventually defeating Radahn. So, I went back to my notes to see what was happening, and I noticed Kai did something that I wasn't expecting. He listened. After 79 hours of streaming, 48 of which were on this boss alone, he slowly started listening to the advice his chat was offering.
The advice is use the sorcery, the taunt sorcery. It helps. It's actually helped way too much. I think the game developer might want to nerf it a bit because it's very OP.
Does Thorny make you get like, if you consecutively keep hitting, you get higher damage? Oh. Yo, I hit him for 4,000!
With their help, he developed a build and strategy that allowed him to consistently get through the first phase of the fight with very little effort. When that worked, Kai suddenly was on the upward swing. Just 20 attempts later, he got through half of Radahn's health for the first time. 20 attempts after that, Kai gets a personal best, getting through 2/3 of his health. This isn't just down to chat having 6 strats.
Relax, patience, you're good. Guys, keep going. The third one is better, you know? Relax, like how relax? Patience, bro, how patience? You're good. You're good. Keep going. That is positive encouragement. The third comment is better than the first two because hey, it gives you uplifting comments. It's like, hey, you know what? You're doing good. Keep going. I trust you. I believe in you. You did great. Splendid work. Excellent job.
Ask
Oh wait, sorry, I didn't read the last one. I didn't read the last one.
would swing. Just 20 attempts later, he got through half of Radahn's health for the first time. 20 attempts after that, Kai gets a personal best, getting through 2/3 of his health. This isn't just down to chat having
Relax, patience, bro. You're good, Kai. Keep going. Now that's the good one. Now just run until he does that again. That's good advice. Good advice.
6 strats
I think the third one is the best, followed by the fourth one. Yeah.
Asking for help required Kai to put his trust in someone other than himself. And science has proven that when we do that, something interesting happens. When our trust is paid off, our brains release a chemical called oxytocin, otherwise known as the love hormone. Now, I'm not saying that Kai was suddenly in love with his chat, though I suppose you could argue that. But oxytocin has other very important uses. Specifically, it plays a role in the process of neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons and neural pathways, allowing him to find new techniques and remember them. Why? Because oxytocin has also been shown to help protect our hippocampus from stress. The hippocampus is where long-term memories live in our brains. And so by accepting help from chat and from a licensed therapist, then having it pay off, he was able
I'm pretty sure that's a counselor, but same therapist, counselor, same.
to regain some of what he'd been losing from his lack of sleep. The stress of his failed runs weren't being stored in long-term memory, and instead he was just able to take what he'd learnt and apply it, creating new neural pathways in his brain, allowing him to get better and better until eventually, after 99 hours of struggle and over 1,000 deaths, he finally did it.
Yes!
99 hours, so close to 100.
He didn't sleep enough, he didn't take the right kind of breaks, he didn't drink his water, and he couldn't keep his cool. But he did know when to put his pride aside and accept help when the chips were down. Who knows, he might still be fighting Radahn today if he hadn't looked to others for help.
Shout out.
Come on!
And a lot of people made fun of him for being dog shit, and to be fair, he was dog shit when he started. But he got so good.
And I guess that's my
Yes, I agree with Floodwick. It's like he improved. There's improvements. There is growth. There's development. It's good to see someone improve, grow, develop into someone better. Ludwig makes a very good point. It's always good to show encouragement. Hey, if you're losing weight, good job, you lose 3 kg. Good job, you lose 5 kg. Good job, you lose 10 kg. Instead of saying, you're still so fat after losing 3 kg. You're still so fat after 5 kg. After losing 5 kg. Which one sounds more better? Which one sounds more encouraging? Which one sounds more supportive?
A final piece of advice to Kai or Ludwig or to anyone who decides to lock themselves in a room until they have to beat whatever task it is they choose. If you want to optimize your marathon, the best thing you can do is realize that while you may be stuck in a room, there are plenty of people around you who aren't, and they are there to help you. Because let's be honest, none of us can truly do anything alone. But there you have it, theorists, my 5-step guide to optimizing marathon streaming or work tasks or homework or anything that requires you to stay locked in a room for multiple days. Make sure you get your 7 to 9 hours of actual sleep, not just time in bed. Take regular breaks, and when you do, don't spend it on your phone or social media. Remember to drink plenty of water with no additives, especially caffeine. When things get tough, keep your cool and find ways to manage your stress. Get up, go for a walk around the room. And finally, if things do seem impossible, don't be ashamed to ask for help. And Kai, if you're watching, a huge congratulations on your victory. You not only made something entertaining, but inspiring. You inspired Ludwig.
If he can do it, I can maybe do it. And I did it! Thank you, Kai!
You inspired me to make this episode, and in return, I hope that I've inspired you, so that the next time you decide to marathon stream,
Which might actually be right now if you haven't beaten Bloodborne yet. Regardless,
you'll be fully equipped to tackle any challenge that comes your way. Just next time, maybe stay off your phone and please, for the love of millennia, drink some water. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory! Thanks for watching. And if Elden Ring is too much of a challenge for you, or you're just new to gaming in general, why not check out our 10-step guide on learning video games. Happy gaming, theorists!
Thank you so much. I'm glad that the king of Twitch, Kaisenek, actually inspired this game theory. This game theory, in which it taught us, educated us, teach us. Thank you so much, the game theorists, the team behind the game theorists, and thank you so much, the team behind the Kaisenek. You guys did a great job. Thank you so much. Thank you. But hey, that's just a theory, a game theory. Thanks for watching. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Thank you so much. Subscribe.